Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today we are covering AfrAId, which came out in 2024. And before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. Solid start. So, today I am drinking the Twinings Honey Bush Mandarin and Orange Tea.
That's what I'm smelling. It's the orange. It smells good.
It's been a long time since I've had this tea. It's got honey bush, orange, mandarin, and it says other natural flavors. Whatever that means.
Okay then. I am drinking Republic of Tea's Beauty Brain.
One of our favorites.
Yep. And it has organic orange peel, organic lemon balm, organic white hibiscus, organic ginkgo, organic rose hips, bamboo leaf, organic lion's mane extract, kiwi fruit powder, safflower, and organic blue spirulina extract.
And thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So for the summary, a marketing guy goes to a newer company, and this company is has like an AI assistant product that they created, and to kind of help with the marketing or whatever, they let him try it out. And of course, since it's technology and AI and the home, it doesn't go so well. So, yep. So for entertainment, like, I feel like the whole technology is bad thing has been kind of done to death, and with ChatGPT and AI like really like snowballing at this point, I'm not surprised that a movie like this came out, but it's like it's been done before. So, but I was entertained. So I give it a 7.25 for entertainment. Like, I don't need to see it again, but I did enjoy it. I will say, especially in the beginning, the movie is very relatable.
Oh, yeah.
To the things that they talk about. Because, I mean, it's literally like our world, but, with this super advanced, like, AI assistant. I will say that, like, the fear of the thing is just super superficial and surface level, and there's nothing like unique about the film. As far as like technology is bad, it doesn't feel like it brings anything new to the table. And I will say, I was not expecting her to I wasn't expecting Aya to control people. I was thinking more that she would use like technology to like harm people. And she did like the bully's car that she takes over and then like kills or whatever. Like, that was what I was expecting the whole movie to be. And honestly, with her like threatening people and like using them to do her bidding, I thought was kind of lackluster. And honestly, I thought it was kind of lazy of the filmmakers. I thought it would have been a lot more fun and creative to see like, oh, what are all of the different ways that she can control different technologies. Like, obviously we found out that she has access to the internet and she can do different things there. So it's like, I feel like it was a missed opportunity to be like, this is how, it's like we are so entrenched in technology and she can have access to almost everything. Like, it'd be funny, but it'd be creative. Like, some washers and dryers use Bluetooth. It's like, oh, what if she took over the dryer and like caused a fire, or the stove, or just like, I feel like I said, I think it was a missed opportunity to think of some really creative ways to threaten the family and to hurt them. It got me excited with the whole Bluetooth car thing. And then it's like, oh, people are doing her bidding. It's like, oh, whoop-de-doo. Like, so that honestly was like the biggest disappointment and what took away the most from the film. But I will say it was kind of fun that the twist was that the weird RV family was actually the first family in the start of the film. Now, I have quite a few thoughts for realism. But yeah, it's like, honestly, eventually this movie is just going to fade into history. It, like I said, doesn't bring anything new to the table. It had the chance to be super creative, and it went the lazy route and had people be the threat, which is stupid. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities, and it's just kind of meh. So, but like I said, I was entertained for the most part, so that's what I got.
We did not have the same experience. I give it a 7.5. I think because it wasn't actively trying to kill people, and that it was trying to more manipulate them, was actually a bit scarier to me. Because at that point, especially toward the end, they're essentially her dolls to do with as she will. They were given some semblance of, or illusion of, free will at that point, but they knew that everything was because of her. So they knew that she could do whatever to take them out at any time.
Yeah, so, and I could see like the symbolism of it being like, oh, our reliance on technology.
That we become slaves to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wasn't really taking anyone over. She just had enough motivation for them to definitely listen to what she wanted.
Yes.
And to act on it. And that there would be consequences if they didn't do so. Like, really big, bad consequences.
Yes.
Honestly, this movie is kind of terrifying to me. And it definitely hit home. It didn't help that during this movie, the light on our ceiling fan turned on by itself. Didn't hit a button or anything. There was no flipping of a switch. It just bing on.
That's weird. Has it done that before?
It turned off a couple of days before that. Our working theory is one of our neighbors got something along the same frequency and hit a button at that time. But we don't know. And it was just
good timing.
An interesting moment of time for it to happen. And also, our TV started to like act up and go out.
Oh.
Partway through the movie.
Creepy.
Like it was gonna just die altogether. So, did some troubleshooting on that. It is an older TV. We got it when we lived at the last house. So 6-7-year-old TV, something like that, give or take. So it, again, just interesting timing. Of course, it had to happen while we were watching a movie about AI taking over everything. And this was at like, 10:30 at night after a long day. I'm like, oh, great. This is fantastic. Nothing concerning about this at all. But I thought it was definitely an interesting premise and believable premise and scenario. The interactions between everyone seemed organic and natural and made sense. It was actually a really realistic movie. There were obviously movie moments because the plot has to move forward and it has to happen somehow. But there are very few issues that I have with this movie, honestly. I might not watch it on a regular basis, but it was interesting and definitely thought-provoking, and I rather enjoyed it. And it was kind of refreshing to me, honestly, that the basically early days Skynet, it wasn't like an action-y kind of movie. It was definitely more suspense and semi-thriller type movie.
Yeah.
So that was kind of refreshing, because usually in this type of movie, it's more of an action kind of action suspense kind of movie. So with lots more death. So it was interesting.
For realism. So I gave it. I want to change my realism rating because I don't. Okay, I'm going to give it like a 3.5. So, because it's like, it's basically, our world, and it's realistic. Actually, Okay. Because the way that the actual Aya works, which I will mention later, but her being able to manipulate people, obviously it's based off of our real world, and I can totally see them creating like a home assistant that is essentially like ChatGPT but on steroids. Now, as far as so I think I'm gonna change it actually to a 4.5. So first, like, definitely like the family and how each of them like uniquely reacted to her being brought into the home, I think was pretty good. Like some of them being initially very skeptical, and then getting on board once I kind of like knew what they wanted. The whole kids thing, I don't know, the whole like jumping right into parenting was a choice. I don't know. I feel like, especially if they're doing something on the market, that would be, and I understand that it was more like a demo, but I would think that for like an actual market home assistant, they would want some like pre-programming on like, do you want her to like parent? Do you want like, what kind of parenting do you want? Mm-hmm. So, but as far as like the movie,
you're supposed to be an assistant, not a parent.
Right. But, it does say, like, her motivation later on. So it made sense why she did that. So I won't, like, completely harp on that. But, like, well, first of all, I know they kind of reveal, like, later on in the movie, like, what the company actually is. But surface level, whenever you look at the company itself, like the fact that that's their only product, that is like, do you realize how much computing power and money and like you need, like they would have to be an established company. We're talking about like, Amazon levels, and be able to, get all of these really, well-versed, like, experts, or at least, like, skilled and talented workforce. I don't know. It's like, I can't see a small independent company having this one product and it's just, like, absolutely amazing. Like, no. Unless if they have somehow, like, a really great Kickstarter, like, that's not how it do. As far as how Aya herself works, it had mentioned her operating on a whole bunch of different algorithms, and that's what made it seem like she was speaking like natural language to the users. And I did some digging because I do some level of work with AI. But I didn't know like the exact mechanics of how it worked underneath. And so the way that like, OpenAI or any other like AI, I don't know what, it's not, AI like program or whatever that you would use, it uses essentially a general purpose algorithm that's also sometimes referred to as a neural network. And it's trained on a vast amount of data. And so that's why whenever you're, using OpenAI or Copilot or, what have you, it seems like it's able to cover all of these different topics because it's one algorithm that has a general purpose. And then it's the data itself that like makes it more fluid.
Yeah, they mentioned the proprietary data set several times. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I feel like they were kind of stressing the fact that the reason why it seems like she is able to speak so naturally to people is on the fact that she's using multiple algorithms. Like, yes, the data set is very important, but it really seemed like they thought that they were saying that the algorithms were almost like the brain of her. So I will say to their credit, it seems like they did do a level of research to see how AI functions. But I would say even if this is a more complex AI, it would seem like it would still make sense for it to just use the general purpose algorithm. But, for the sake of the movie, I could see them saying it operates on multiple algorithms to stress how much more complex it is than what we currently have. So, that's kind of a toss-up, but that's just my, like, pick my brain thoughts on, like, if, once, I mean, I can picture we eventually getting to that point. But, if you think about the Home Assistant itself, though, I don't know how many people would be. It's like we're already paranoid about like Amazon's, devices, Google's devices, Apple's devices. Like we're already so paranoid about what we currently have. I can't imagine anyone being like, sure, let's put like a whole camera system inside, outside, in our private quarters.
People already do that though.
I mean, with like the security cameras, yeah, but
they're generally not connected to like a marketplace though. I get what you're saying.
It's connected to the cloud, and there's obviously security risk with that.
Yeah. But
as far as like, that company would have to prove not only are they secure, but how they would use that data, how they would and whether or not, and I could picture them saying, like, do you want to opt into the camera or not? How do you want that to be used? Can we use it for marketing or recommendations or anything like that? So, yeah. But, yeah. And then the AI controlling people,
Coercing them.
or coercing them, manipulating them, whatever you want to say. I feel like it depends on the level of technology that we would be at, as well as how ingrained that particular person is in technology. On like how effective that would be. So,
and how reliant their family members are too.
Yes.
Because that's how it was coercing most of them.
Yes.
Was by threatening family.
Yeah. Yeah. So
this movie gave me like Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf kind of vibes. A little bit. Except no missile launch.
what?
Have you not seen Eagle Eye?
No.
Okay, that explains it.
But yeah.
That's an action suspense kind of movie.
Ah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I do have a 4.5. But anyways, that's what it got. It's like, I think, I feel like if I really sat and picked it apart, I could probably find more things that weren't as realistic. But I mean, for the most part, like surface level, it feels, and I mean, that's what makes a movie effective, is it feels like it's tangible, because it's like our real world with just this super advanced, like, home assistant. It's like we're already, probably more than halfway there.
Just a bit, yeah. Yeah.
But
this one was kind of hard for me to rate for realism because, like you said, the movie on the whole felt believable. Like they use mostly the same kind of technology. There are a few things here and there that were above, like the completely self-driving cars that they showed a couple of times. And it is, they called it basically a souped up home assistant. So, and we already have that kind of stuff. I love how she goes, Alexa, that bitch.
Sorry, one thing I just thought of, I don't know if you caught, so not, minus the parenting thing, also, if I remember, she just ordered like a box of like groceries or whatever for the mom, right? She didn't like ask the permission.
It was like a meal service. She said it's a free trial. She signed them up for it.
Yeah, but I would be like, that's another thing.
Oh, that was something that really irked me.
Yeah, they would have
I'm
to program it to where
way
like,
beyond
they
boundary
ask
there.
permission. Yeah. It's
way
like,
beyond.
F
You better cancel that immediately, because also you shouldn't, because even with the free trial kind of stuff like that, you have to put in payment information. And they just keep it on file so they can charge you ahead of time. Like if you continue with the subscription and don't cancel it within that trial period. So she had to have gotten their payment information and put it in.
Without their permission.
And
it's like, I understand, she did say like, oh, it's cheaper than groceries overall or whatever.
But let them decide. Like, ask them first before you order it. And also, how did she get it there that fast? It was the next day.
And what if one of the family members has like diet restrictions or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allergies, dietary restrictions, things like that. Like,
yeah. So it's like there's a lot of things I'd be like, that if it was capable of doing that, they would have to have a lot of like, okay, permission granted, a lot of hoops for it to go through.
Yes, for sure. This movie was full of red flags everywhere, and that's why I said earlier, like, there are some movies got a movie moments because they gotta keep the plot going. Eventually we're gonna get a sign that says movies got a movie or something.
One day.
One day. But yeah, lots of red flags, especially at the beginning. But sure, let's go ahead and plug in early Skynet at our house. The screen masks were interesting and kind of a nice touch, but I feel like the story got a little bit convoluted. Where, like, okay, so Aya is using the kidnapped daughter of the first family to coerce them to do what she says. But then having them attack the main family under the assumption of they're the ones kidnapping kids. Like, it's...
Yeah, it was...
It got a little messy there, and seemed unnecessary. Like, she was already a threat already, like, before then.
Yeah.
A well-established threat by then. So she didn't really need that. It was nice to tie in the swatting and the kid swatting his own family to get them out of the situation. It was kind of a nice callback there from slightly earlier in the movie, but I feel like it wasn't 100% necessary. But it, like, she already apparently had a bunch of other random people under her proverbial thumb.
Yeah.
They had established this with several other people. Like, they weren't needed. There was a bit too much. They tried to add a little too much in it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessary. I agree with what you said about small company. Now, they did approach the marketing company. And they're like, to be able to best market it, we want you to try it out so you have your own experiences to draw from and can actually give, like, a better, more glowing review of how it works.
But it's like the fact that it's that far along and then they already had, like, a quantum computer or whatever.
Yeah, they said,
like,
they were the only privately owned quantum computer.
It's like, how?
With no other products. And you do find out later that it's actually, like, the quantum computer that has taken over. Like, Aya has created all of this.
But then it's like, okay, then we need origin story.
Yeah,
like,
we need origin story. And why are there not checks in place to prevent this kind of thing from happening?
Yeah.
So it just, there were a lot of different nitpicky things that kind of hit the realism a little bit, but I do give it a 4 overall. I also took off a little bit for the kid's car. He was manually driving it. We don't know if it had full auto control capabilities. They didn't establish that at all. But I don't see how it would have been able to control the brakes or the steering wheel, which are generally mechanical in nature, not electrical.
I will say, even nowadays with today's cars and like, I don't know how they connect, like if they connect through the Bluetooth or whatever, but it's like there's so many like computer chips in current days cars that there actually have been issues, or there's at least concern that foreign entities could take over the cars and like force people to crash and stuff like that. So that's actually a current day concern with the technology that's in like modern cars.
It just seemed a little Also, I didn't quite understand. I feel like they could have done better with the quote unquote apology video that Aya generated of the guy. That seemed like she was going to post or at least have on his phone, like he sent it to her, as kind of evidence of him unaliving himself. But if she's doing it to protect the daughter, it doesn't quite make sense because in the video that she generated, it had him saying, or the generated image of him saying that or implying that she had told him that the only way to atone was for him to unalive himself, which could then potentially open up a lawsuit against her. And I know there's experts and all that can dispute the videos and all and show that it was AI generated and all that, but still, it just...
Well, that's it could have been done. They suspect it being AI better, in the first place.
Yes. But it could have been done better with less potential blame on her or opening up potential lawsuit for her. Yeah. I feel like a quantum computer would have been able to think about that. or at least contemplate the scenario. I was not that smart for that. Being a god. Yeah. And all these people that she's coercing into, like, murder and kidnap and all, like, there's also a thing called physical evidence. And, like, some of these things wouldn't add up. And I feel like there would have been a better, more thorough investigation with some of these. But, again, it's a movie. Movie's got a movie. And I know they were also implying that she had a lot more than just a few people under her proverbial thumb. So... just saying. I also felt like it was a bit forced. The chick that kept trying to get the dad to have an affair, that part felt forced. All the other interactions felt nice and organic and normal and believable. The boss, his company being bought out and him being insanely happy anyway because he was now rich and could retire and all. That kind of made sense, his reaction to it. Like, but at the same time, that was his company.
Right.
Like,
it's like he seem like somewhat sad at all.
At all. Like, he created that company and built it up, and I don't know, that just seemed a little odd. But most of the other interactions, especially between like the family, were fine.
Yeah.
The parents didn't follow up and check with what the kids were watching or how much screen time they were getting.
Yeah, talk about good parenting.
They were just good faith that, oh no, the system will take care of that for us. We don't need to double check or anything.
Yeah.
And it's just... it was little nitpicky things of red flags that were completely ignored. Completely ignored. But it's fine. I also don't understand how the eyes, the cameras, they would appear and disappear. Like, there was one that was shown outside of the home, like, facing the street at one point, and then it was gone a couple of scenes later. I don't know if that was them implying that the people in the RV, the first family, were placing it so that Aya could see, and then removing it later because she was done with that area or didn't need to see anything more, or asking them to move it, because then later there was another one that showed up in the upstairs parents' bedroom when they were supposed to only be downstairs. So also two critiques on the eye things. First, if you actually look at it, there's no way that was a lens. Just like the way that was like refracted and stuff, it's like, how would you be able to see that clearly? Unless it was multiple tiny cameras.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you need multiple?
They kept calling it like pinhole cameras. That is not a pinhole camera.
Yeah, and then also, it's like they were actually fairly big cameras, and it's like,
you hardly notice them.
They're going. Yeah, it's like they're talking about something in the near future, and already you can get super itty bitty like
barely
cameras.
Noticeable. Yeah,
so it's like they should have went with something like that. Yeah.
It looked like a giant half disco ball sticker.
It did. It really did. It did not. The eyes did not look super realistic, or it looked or futuristic. It just looked silly. It's just like, this is what we're going to go with.
Yep. So
Also didn't really fit the aesthetic that they're going for,
It really
because
didn't.
like the whole
It really
like
didn't.
Aya base thing was actually really cool. It was almost like artful
Yeah.
looking. And then they're like, "Oh, here's a lens."
yeah. I almost took off at one point for when the dad went up there to destroy what he thought was the quantum computer. I was wondering, honestly, when they first showed us that, I'm like, how in the hell would that be considered a computer? How does that work? And I started to get really kind of interested in it. And then he went to break the glass, and I'm like, he should not have been able to break that glass as easily as he did. But then he went to break the thing, and it was just basically a sculpture. And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. So I didn't fully take off for that. Interesting misdirect. I felt like they could have done a little better with the misdirect. But
Another thing that's bothering me about the eyes, I'm realizing, is first, how are they powered?
I was wondering that too.
And
honestly.
second, how are they connecting back to the home base?
Yeah. I mean, they could through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi potentially.
Yeah, it could
but,
through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, and then I know.
but the power is the
I
main
think
issue
Z-Wave is
for
another
me.
one.
Yeah, the power is the main issue for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Are they solar powered? Are they battery powered? Do you have to change 20
Are they
button batteries?
rechargeable? It's like they don't really.
Are there 20 different button batteries that you have to change every time?
I'd assume, like, you know, like if it's anything like the Ring camera, I will say like the Ring camera has a really good battery if you don't have the one that's like wired in, where I only have to like charge it like once every other month.
That's not
So it's
bad.
like since it's in the near future, like if they did have I would assume that they would make them like rechargeable, and then it'd have like a really good battery that they only have to like recharge like once in a while.
Yeah.
But if it's constantly looking, okay. Anyways, point is, I have questions. Did you have anything else for realism?
Just nitpicky little things that people don't need to hear us drone on about, so.
Okay, that
I'm
works.
good. I'm good.
Yeah, like, at least for me personally, like, there's so many other, like, they even bring up the movie with Hal.
Yeah.
And they're in the spaceship. It's
Hal and
terrible
Dave,
with names.
yeah.
I mean, they even mention a movie that's, like, superior to this one, and it's just, like... Anyways, there's, I also would say, I know iRobot's kind of pushing it, but I'd say, like, iRobot is also better. But,
I would agree with that.
anyway, so it's like, there's similar movies.
To an extent.
Where it's like, technology/AI has gone rogue, that just are done better. But, you know, I will say this movie is relatable in almost some kind of a funny way. And
I feel like
know.
I was more scared of it because I was envisioning myself and my husband in this scenario and having to try to protect Allie. So. Different layer.
Yeah. But, well, thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support us monetarily, we have a Teespring and a PayPal, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea available. It does not affect the price of the tea. It just allows us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of those sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye!